Hey guys, and welcome to the very first chaotic model review. For today, we're going to be reviewing the EVGA GeForce GTX 285. As you can see right here, it does have a 1 GB of DDR3 memory, and it does run on a PCI 2.0 slot. So why don't we take a closer look? Right here is a PCI 2.0 slot. Now let's take a look at the back. This has 2 DVI ports along with an S-Video port. And right up here is where all the hot air comes out of your case, out of your fan. Right here, you do need 2 6-pins to run this thing, which most of you guys out there, if you have a decent power supply, have. This is where the S-Video cable plugs in, and I'll talk about that a bit later. These are where the 2 SLI ports are, and as you can see, there's 2 of them, which means you can have up to tri-SLI. And benchmark-wise, that's the best configuration you can get out there. Now let's take a look at some of the extras EVGA supplies you with. Right here you have the manual and driver's disc. I would not recommend using the driver's disc for one reason. EVGA is always releasing brand new drivers, and it's always better to have up-to-date drivers because you can always have issues with them, and they often make your performance a lot better. Right here you have a DVI to VGA adapter in case you're running an older model. Right here is a DVI to HDMI adapter in case you want to put this into an LED TV, which would be pretty nice. Right here is the audio loop cable, and I'll show you how to hook this thing up and what it does. You just plug it into your graphics card in here like so. And the other end goes on your SPDIF header and your motherboard. That way you can get great sound through that HDMI. Now, they also supply you with 2 Molex 6-pin, and you get 2 of these in case you have an older power supply. Now, let's talk about frequencies and benchmarks. This thing has a core clock of 648, a shader clock of 1475, and a memory clock of 1242. Now, in 3D Mark 06 on my test system, which is a Q9550 at 2.83 gigahertz on a P5N/D motherboard with 680i chipset and 4 gigabytes of 800 megahertz DDR2 RAM, I got a score of 14,129 with a CPU score of 3,873, a graphics score of 6,768, and an SM 2.0 score of 5,532. Now, just by looking at those benchmarks, you can tell that my graphics card is the best part of my pretty good setup. Now, let me talk to you guys a little bit of why I chose EVGA. Now, I chose EVGA for one big reason, and that's their warranty. Their warranty covers overclocking and even removing the fan, replace it with a better one. Now, remember, you do have to register this card on EVGA.com to utilize all of this warranty and all their great stuff. They also have something called the step-up program. So if you buy this card and within 90 days, EVGA releases a newer and better graphics card, then they basically offer you a trade-in. So you can just trade this one in and pay a minimal fee, and you get a really good card back. Now, a lot of you guys think you need the Quad SLI GTX 295. If you're running like, what, 20 to 30 inch monitor, you don't really need that. A GTX 285 would be fine for that. Oh, and by the way, my resolution on the benchmarks and everything, I got 1280 by 1024 is my resolution. Also, on Devil May Cry 4, I got an excellent rank of S and over 165 frames per second on average. And as I was saying with EVGA, I like them in general, and they also have a really cool application called EVGA Precision, which I use to overclock most of my graphics cards and make it really easy. Now, if you have like a 20 to 30 inch monitor, you don't really need 2 GTX 95. That's pretty much taking it a bit overboard. Overkill, basically. All you need is one of these guys and this. One of these guys you can pick up at basically $100. And this, all you have to do is plug it in. You don't need to connect any SLI at all, and just specify in your drivers that you're going to have a different card run physics. So I have this card running physics and this card running graphics. It increases the benchmarks a lot. So and overclocking on this card is a very easy and basically idiot proof, and it overclocks very well. I'll probably put a tutorial of how to overclock this card later on, but that's for later, probably next week or something. So this has been Chaotic Modder, and I am out.